say the greetings over the diaspora.
To those that don't speak the languages that we speak.
Lina Lakake, Anpu, Kamalam Anpu. I'm saying my season name because I don't want to say my real name. I am a personal rapper. I go by the name of PKXD, and I'm going to be releasing my first song today with my friend MT, and you can check it out on SoundCloud or Audio Mic. And today we're going to be covering the season of Djehuti. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We call him Baby Cashmere, but that's right. Do you like someone I need? Okay, but you made a seat already. But welcome, Students United, the Waking Bake, and the queer and conscious knowledge seekers, knowledge collectors, woke gang, anti-woke gang, the queer and conscious. Oh, I said that already. Chakra hands, tarot gang, element benders, energy readers, energy protectors, and everything else, and everybody else. Towards a Gogo gang, Makosi gang, everybody, and all the fraternity. I know you guys are at work right now, so I thought I should do this. And you know, when I do this, high chances are it's because I'm offering to edit, right? But we have done our intro episode. It is a Tuesday, so we're just gonna do a little bit on Djehuti, and then after that, we're just gonna catch up. We haven't done a live session in a million years, but yeah, that was PKXD. They're releasing the album. Skitty School Holiday. I get a love one. Yeah, so anyway, so we covered our episode last week where we spoke about the things that resonate with the season. I hope the visual's clear. Yeah, I need a new screen actually. Yeah, so we covered the things that align us with the season. And yeah, so we did an 8 countdown, the period, when this period starts, and then we touched on, yes, I want to speak also a little bit on the retrograde today. Ne? We touched on the period, we touched on the incense, which is eucalyptus, we touched on the scent, neroli, we touched the color, which is gray and white. Maybe we'll go a little bit into the color. We touched the animals, we touched the tree. The animals is the ibis, the baboon, as well as the giraffe. And we spoke that the common factor, I don't know if we spoke, but the common factor in all these 3 animals are the wisdom, the unity, the adaptability, you know, things that speak of Djehuti, we said wisdom, ne? Yeah, the wisdom. And then the giraffe, though, interestingly enough, the giraffe is also considered such a cosmic being, such a non-earthly being, you know. So it's one of these animals that in some indigenous tribes, this animal is considered as so regal, so royal, so sacred as well, because they see it as a connection that we have to the cosmos and Atarona. And then when we're looking at the color, yeah, gray, right? The color gray. We also unpacked, okay, in spiritual terms, what does this gray mean? You know, is it a transitioning color? Is it a white? But I just want us to focus a little bit, especially on the deity in Ayarona. Let's focus a little bit on just how gray is the color that would signify, yeah, decolonization in progress. That would signify wisdom, right? We'd see with a lot of people, banally gray hair, you know, they'd say, no, these people are wealthy, or these people are quite intelligent, right? We see it as well in depictions of Dipopai as well. And then when we speak in the African calendar, I like referring to a movie that I think I speak extensively about it when we speak in the creation story. I know on the platform we owe the creation story, ne? But we've touched on it a little bit. We covered the creation story on the Maya podcast. It was a studio session. It was not the live sessions that we do every month. Ne? So please just go catch up on that. But I will do one because I think also we have grown. Hi, Gogi. It's so lovely seeing you all the time. Togoza Gogi. Yes, can we welcome those on the membership? This is Gogi Sukhameti, who's our member from day 1, day 0. That's what's up. What's up, Gogi? Thank you so much for your support. Your cosmic pack is definitely on the way. It should arrive by you tomorrow or the other day. Please just check. Yeah, if you've made any order on anything, please just follow up. You know, sometimes responses that one. So I never not respond. The team never not responds. So if you sent something and you did not get a response, please just check in your spam folder as well. And then shout out to our newest member, Riba. Please, guys, on the membership, downloading ebook. It's a 7-day period where the link is active. But if you missed the 7-day period, that's fine. Please just send us an email. But yeah, for those on the membership program, ne, the rest you can still buy your stuff. Those who've also made orders, please, you can also just follow up on those. But they should be arriving to you guys pretty soon, ne? And yeah, with the ebooks, you know, those who if you have any glitches now with receiving the ebook, please just also holla. What else did I forget? Thank you for the super thankses. Thank you for Sekhanto. Thank you for the orders. Thank you for the love and light. Thank you for your energies. Thank you for sharing your ancestors and your spirits with me here. You know, thank you so much for being with us also in this Anpu season. So I saw a very interesting comment on our intro episode that we did. Ne? So there's one I wanted to read specifically. How I like mentioning how we are so aligned as a people to nature itself. You know, we're aligned to the vibration of God, the frequency of God, but at times we're not even aware we are actually in resonance with something. So there's two goddesses. I want to just read their comments. So shout out. Okay, no, this is the last one I want to read. I want to read Gogo. Okay, so Litlotlo, shout out Litlotlo, my day one. Shout out Litlotlo. Okay, Litlotlo wanted to know more about the planetary shift, so we're gonna be speaking a little bit on retrograde today. And then Infinity calls me her favorite chakra Han, Umama Ngimhamba. Okay, but thank you. Welcome to those who are new to our space. Please start by subscribing. Please watch the ads if you're new to the space, ne? And then we have a yoga queen, Kululi, where she advises that 4 drops of eucalyptus oil on the shower pan or the floor, and then showering after a long day of peopling. So that is a nice energy cleanser as well, relaxant and. So I want to read this goddess's comment here, ne? Kililita Jezile Uti, the synchronicities are blowing my mind. So this literally happened, I think, into the transition, Djehuti. I think Friday, Spirit told me to sprinkle eucalyptus in my room at night before bed. Initially, I just wanted to repel mosquitoes. I didn't Google this, just by the way. I just received a channel from Spirit. And then yesterday, I started reading the Emerald Tablet of Thoth. So remember, Thoth is the name, the plagiarizers, ne? The Greeks. They decided to call Djehuti or Thoth. And the deity that you're describing sounds like Thoth or is it Hermes, like the French, but Hermes. But it's all Hermes, Gogo. But you're correct. The Emerald Tablet of Thoth is definitely based on the theory or them theorizing or Djehuti or Tehuti. Okay, and Spirit just sent you to me because the book was kind of blowing my mind a bit, causing a lot of confusion but clarity. And this is the crazy thing about this journey, ne? Like a lot of things are confusing, but they make sense at the same time, right? But we give thanks for other platforms, for the work that we're doing here, where we're able to a little bit make it simpler and easier to understand, ne? Without being a woke gang or ne? And Gogo says, I'm only a few pages in. It's all connected. I've always wanted answers around why we don't use the lunar calendar, at least from a month-to-month basis. And a few months ago, I was made aware of the Cradle of Life being here in SA, in Mpumalanga. And I had to leave Mpumalanga before I could go because they said the true calendar was there. Thank you, sister. I'll buy the book and the packages next week. Thank you. 1515 as I sent this. So this Gogo is highly aligned. I really love it when it happens in that way, ne? And Isha, because Transil was chronic, I have to speak so Khoa, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll be back to our Setswana lessons and seeing Sikhameti here. I think while Kitimete is still on her downtime, I think I wanna I wanna take advantage of her knowledge because Gogo Sikhameti, or those who know her in other spaces, Gogo Shamaine, she writes Setswana poetry. She waboka as well. She's a mbongi. So remember the Jessica lady? That's what Gogi is. She does that. Her Setswana is quite dope. So yeah, so maybe we'll include her as part of the team, you know. So we learn Setswana. And yeah, we're still waiting for teachers of other languages, you know, people in the diaspora, people in Jamaica. If you want to teach us something from Jamaica, please do pull through. Yes, then there's something in the comment, yeah, Gogone, that I also want to touch on a little bit. For those who are new, especially those who are new on the space, she touched on okay, why we don't use the lunar calendar, and then I just want to speak on that, ne, and linking it to the like one of the allegories or the mythology behind Djehuti, right? So with the when we did our creation story, ne, we started about the 4 phases of creation. It starts with the water. Well, that's why we say life starts in the water, and if we're gonna link it to real life, I get everybody is incubated here, right? The people that are still humans, ne? You're incubated in a pool of water. So that is why also when babies are young, it's better to take a baby for swimming lessons immediately, not immediately, obviously, when they're still young. You can literally throw them in the water, and adaptability is much better when they're younger, right? Because of this amniotic sac that we're living in, even though I can live woke space, ne? Even though now there's a dispute with okay, we shouldn't be drinking water, we should just get our water from the food that we're eating, specifically fruit and all of that, because the water that we're drinking is H2O, and we have H3O or something like that. I haven't delved into the concepts or the theory a lot more. But for now, I'm still thirsty, so I'm still drinking. We're gonna speak on the water situation as well, ne? So yeah, so we give thanks. We're gonna speak on the water, especially for those who aren't privileged enough to have access to buying water. Ne, for South Africans, especially those more Gauteng, ne, we know we get our water from that Lesotho highlands situation. So yeah, I want us to touch on that. So this is a Djehuti session, and then we just also gonna catch up towards the end. Gogi Ori Law, that's me. Gogi, please use my email. You know the drill this side. Okay, Gogi. I want download it. Gogi, go download it, ma'am. Wait again. Nah, people who are anti technology. Okay, Gogi, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. So if you need help like that as well, where you're just struggling with getting links and passwords and all of that, and you're on the membership, please just hit us up on email. We will send your ebook on email or anything else, whatever things that you're struggling with. And then Melo Ore, I'm definitely new, but welcome, Melo. I'm seeing you for the third time, actually. I'm seeing your name for the third time. So thank you so much for your love as well. We will transition. Melo, is it you? Is it Gogo Witu Melo? Okay, yeah. Let me know. But like Gogo Kosi would say, it's the people that are here, Nali vibration and so vibration a very very different, so anyway, back to Djehuti and the moon and everything else. Yeah, so Gogo, in her comment, she actually made a comment, I think the why we tracking the solar calendar is just answering the question, yeah, why we don't use the lunar calendar, right? So I usually touch it on the surface. So it's okay with the lunar calendar. It's not static. Okay, nature's not static in totality, but it's more, it's not consistent like how we would with the solar calendar, right? So we know, okay, around a certain time, 2021, energy shift that changes. So we're basically tracking the movement of the sun. So with the masculine energy of the sun here, we are able to have a little bit more consistency in that, right? But we still also need to take into account the lunar calendar as a tool. Melo from the Moya stream. Oh god. Oh yes, yes, yes. Oh, not Gogo with you, Melo. Oh yes, yes, yes. I remember. I did see you. I remember. I did see you. Thank you so much for hopping on the space here, and I hope it's not too confusing. But I think ufike kahle ngesikhathi esiright, right? Because we're still on the third month of the year. So sizo transition now kahle, and yeah, I think we give thanks for Ukoko making that a possibility because basically we done with our 12-month series, but I think when you hear it for the second time, it just resonates a little bit better. Djehuti, the moon, yes. So yeah, so initially, and this is I'm gonna take it from my understanding of just recent history, ne? So if we're using actually the lunar calendar, we know that the transitions happen every 29 or 28 point what days, right? That's when we're transitioning into a new moon. But it's just that the full moon, if it happens on the 21st this month, and the next month is not gonna happen on the 21st, kind of thing, right? The moon has its own energy, as we see also with the divine feminine, and we know that the moon is representing that concept, or the energy, yeah, the divine feminine. I think I was asked this question 2 years ago, and I don't know how to answer it. I think I know how to answer it now. So anyway, so if we're gonna make every week the same, every month the same, and we're just working on like a more modern version where it's 7 days, right? Because we know when we're tracking it historically, it was we had 10-day weeks and not the 7-day weeks that we currently have. But even in that, if we're using the 7-day week system, we know that we actually end up on 13 months. So please go check out, maybe I'll link it to this episode when we're done. Check out Mkulu Prince Zoza Shongwe's episode. So we were touching the calendar, but in understanding of how the Zulu people used to unpack it, and in that they would still, even though it's going in a solar manner, but with that they would still find a 13th month. There is a word Kasi Zulu for a 13th month, and those who are Boshakra Bo astrology, astronomy, and all of that, I think it was about 5 or something or so years ago, 5 or even much long ago, where now they wanted to introduce the 13th zodiac house, right? And yeah, I don't know what happened to that theory. I forgot what they even called it, but they wanted to introduce that. So us as a people, we do know in totality actually it's 13 months, right? But this would be now when we are considering every month in only just 28 days, right? And now those extra days. But now we wanna take it to our relation at Djehuti, okay? So Djehuti in the calendar, the old solar calendar, solar civil calendar that they were using, it was also 28-day months, and then that would lead you to 360 days, right? If every month that would be 300. Okay, not every okay, let's take out leap years. Let's take out okay, wait, I want to make calculations now. Let me not make calculations now. But anyway, let's just understand the concept, ne? Let's not be too numbers, too much numerological about it. Let's take numbers. So let's say the civil calendar that was imposed on them, right? Not the naturally flowing calendar, but in ancient times. So there's 360 days, nearly the total days, right? Based on a 12-month system and all of that. And then when we're going into the allegory or the Nthotsena, okay, we just got a WhatsApp. Or when we get into the mythology, touching the mythology a bit, so it said that Djehuti, which is part of the lunar gods, right? A lunar energy, lunar entity. But Djehuti now happens in the third phase. Yeah, the moon. So we know the moon in the new phase, and then about half, and then it goes into the waning phase. No, wait, we're building up towards the moon, towards the full moon. So it's new moon, then it builds up, yawexa, it full moony after full moon, and then starts waning and all of that. So Djehuti, if we wanna take, I think next year, I think next year when we start the new year, maybe we need to touch on the lunar calendar a little bit more, ne? Yeah, it's a divine feminine a little bit more. Or now, since it's 3 months, maybe the next maybe from Nomkhubulwane. Maybe we can do that from Nomkhubulwane. Just give more light on the lunar calendar. So anyway, so Djehuti goes into a gamble with the great diviner Ukons, the moon god. So the moon god. So remember all these principles also, the interlinked, right? So if you hear something that's familiar, so maybe in cons you'll hear something that says Djehuti, remember that all these principles are linked, right? And then we have the solar gods, we have the lunar gods, but in everything that happens, right? Everything that happens is interconnected. The moon, the sun, it's just two sides of the same coin, right? When we get to like an equilibrium status where everything is nicely balanced, right? So anyway, they're going to a gamble so that now Djehuti needs to ensure that Unut fulfills the prophecy, or fulfills what Nut Ligeb need to do. So Nut Ligeb, we know that is the sky god, the earth, right? So that dome shape that we have, Lefati. And with that now, Ra put a curse on Nu Tuguta when you cannot have the offspring. So what does Djehuti do? Djehuti goes into a gamble, lay the moon god Horokeki, but just some of your light, you know. So remember, okay, not remember, for those who grew up in environments that I grew up in religious environments, you know, there was one of my favorite things, maybe because it was also in like hip hop and in songs, which in the beginning it was also a house song. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God, and all of that. But we know Horebare before creation was just all darkness and all of that and all of that, right? Yeah, so anyway, so there was light missing. So Djehuti goes into this gamble. Orokai cons, please just, you know, just give a little bit of your light, you know, a yeah, I can't remember the fraction thing at the current juncture, but ke kopong gave a little bit of your light, you know, so that this prophecy can be fulfilled. So with other academics, bare that bakesite knows to not bear the offspring because they knew that one of the offsprings the nude now is gonna unalive a lineage a Ramasedi, and we know that representation happens in Asa, right? When you're delving into the stories and the allegories and the mythology and all of that behind it, right? We know Hore, the younger brother, which is a sibling as well, unalived or but the earthly representation, Yara, which was Asa, the green god, right? And then that whole story that we spoke of about the black god and everything else. Okay, I know we have a lot of videos on this space to catch up on. I'm just thinking of the new people who are okay. Yeah, please just stop me if you're not with me now. Just stop me and say, okay, what do you mean green god? What do you mean black god? Yeah, and all of that. And then yeah, so they went into a gamble here, and then Djehuti wins against Ukans, and then Baba granted the extra light, and then that light was enough to produce the 5 extra days that we see in 365. Yeah, so from the 360 days to the 365 days. So this was the effort at Djehuti. And when speaking of Djehuti as well as the consort of Ma'at, so these are the only principles that are existing in all the stages of creation, you know, from the water phase of Manu to the fire phase, to the earth phase, to ament phase, which is the final phase, you know, in Ntshonalanga lapho Djehuti le Maati are present and all of that. And I think we spoke about it on the live session that we did, ne? But because of the principle, you know, God of wisdom, there's measurements that are happening, there's seasons, timing, everything happens in this consort pair, yeah, Ma'at le Djehuti, and Ma'at provides the how, provides the law. What does this measurement, why does this thing fit into this? That is the Ma'at principle on it. But now when we're looking at Ukodes Ma'at again, right, which happens, Ma'at comes after the set season, right, where everything now needs to be restored and the balance and order needs to be restored after the chaos that happens. And we've made practical examples, Gaboma, periods like Boma, the uprising, periods like, you know, Hadiri winter, Momzanti, you know, there's chaos. We had looting the other year. We had the what did we have? Yeah, historically, like blood was shed, you know, the periods then, as I said, where everything needs to be destroyed, you know, the things that are anti-Ma'at need to be destroyed, and then Ma'at comes, the energy of Ma'at comes and restores things after that. So, in the same light, Ma'at also now comes as a principle of truth telling, because we have something called the scales of Ma'at, right? Which is now when you're transitioning from this nyami nyami state and you're going into the realm after death. So your rebirth there in the other realm, your deeds or your heart is weighed against the feather, right? And then Djehuti is the person now who reads your deeds, right? Because remember, Djehuti is the keeper of Akashic records. Ne? So please also ask questions from the episodes that we've done. I know the content is a lot, so please do ask if you do have questions, so we cover them in this session. It is a live session. Kita one, kita for editor, and then two. Yeah, I just want to catch up with you guys. We haven't done a catch up in a very long time, even though I know it's work hours, so I know I still have like a little bit of shyness in me. So yeah, so sometimes I run away from, especially if I'm on my own, I run away from doing the live session kiliwane and unprepared and just, you know, it's spangeneni. But yeah, sometimes you just need to flex your knowledge, right? What if your deeds are more bad than the good? Okay, yeah. So that is. Oh yes, I wanted. Sorry, thank you for reminding me. Lapho Kehla. I lose my train of thought a lot. Yeah. So Djehuti is the scribe, is the one that has the Akashic records, right? Or okay, the deeds are chacho, the good, the bad, or your heart is heavy. You can't transition. You can't transition. Heart heavy. But then now Djehuti also comes. He's also a counselor. He's also a prosecutor in that. So Djehuti is also going to decide, okay, if your heart is heavier than your feather, your deeds, they're bad and all of that. So bring it on practical terms, but I just want to speak on the mythology part of it. Ne? So in mythology part of it, or in the story, then you're gonna be fed to the serpent, ne? The serpent that eats that eats you. So you don't transition, you don't join you don't join the other gods on the other side if your heart is heavier than the other feather. But now let's take it in a more practical manner, right? So with this, basically it denotes to now remember to right? And then we have the Roman Catholics with their theory of, I mean, theory sounds condescending at times, ne? With their concept, is concept better? With the concept of purgatory, where now you cannot transition, you cannot join abantu abadala because awahlambululwa, awageza. We spoke about this, I think, in our session with the Black God, ne? Yeah, yeah. I think we've done episodes on cleansings a lot. I think we need to just brush up. We need to brush up on those conversations. And yes, and I do note that there's questions that I think you go Pookie or somebody you had asked a Black God regarding the cleansing episodes. I think that we did. We're still waiting for him to avail himself. It is exam time, got the season ena, which is very interesting as well in the season ena ya Djehuti, because oh, let me finish this point. Ne? Yeah, so Ketla, so there's a serpent there. If you see the imagery at the it's literally the scale, the heart, the feather. Kamoki Anpu is the one that takes you to the scale. Djehuti is there waiting with his book. And then, but he's part of the team yahahu. So Uzo Gringela still, he'll still try advocate for you, Uguti. Okay, this person's deeds, okay, maybe they stole a sweet last week or whatever it is, does that make their heart heavy or not, and but also I want us to also just detach a little bit to the imagery of, okay, these are real events. I just want us to understand the concepts, the energy, the like, just from a Moya point of view. Ne? Just want us to understand those things. But yeah, we have dope scholars. I'm meeting dope people every day. Meeting dope people every day who can unpack these things on a more practical manner. But yeah, basically it's that whole concept. Purgatory, they say you're floating. I get it, they believe in heaven and hell. So you don't go to hell, you don't go to heaven, but you're floating there in purgatory. And then with us, then do people but he if yeah, okay, kunalaba baba amadlozi amabi, right? But then there's certain rituals that haven't been done, and we speak about it in the season of Nuta Law to go to, okay, this is the time where le kupula batbalona, to get the spirits to transcend that period ngoba the spagapagas are open in the season in Ayanud. So timing is very important. And yeah, we spoke about time and timing a long time ago. Ne? Yeah, we have over 350 videos, I think, on the space here. Or if not, we're very close to 350. So that's what happens, Kesha, when your heart becomes heavier than the feather. But that system, guys, is also for you to self judge, because as Africans we never judged each other. We didn't point fingers at each other. Everybody has a moral compass. Okay, am I harming somebody? Spiritual rules: harm none, and don't inflict bad on none, don't curse none. Just law yourself, move on lawyer, and stuff like that. So yeah, so these are little spiritual codes. I'm hoping towards Gogo Space will learn as well. But yeah, we've been at it, ne? We've been at it. We touched on Djehuti, yes, and then while we're still on the story, the mythology story, ne? So I said creation story Arona is based on or the Lion King is based on the African creation story. So in that, now you used to remember there was that monkey, Rafiki, one of my favorite characters in the movie. So get the animated The Lion King, The Lion King. Yeah, Lion King. Kiwa sifo ways the Lion King. Get that movie. So in that, there's the baboon or Rafiki, ne, which is also the representation again, yeah, Djehuti, because also he's a diviner, he's a medicine man, and in that, which is how also we unpack and understand the spirit, about the energy, about the vibration of this current time that we're in, the energy of Djehuti, because also he's also a great diviner, right? So as much as cons is diviner the great, ne? But now Djehuti comes also because when we're hearing from our native tongues, Ankeng Singuni, Hambar Inyanga, right? We know Hore. Okay, there's lots of people, I think associate Nyanga le Sangoma as the same thing, but just for understanding, ne? It's not the same thing, just for understanding. Please let's just grab onto that one. Hore ngaka ya Sotho, right? And in ancient times, which is very worrying for today's times, ne? In ancient times, they would need to be able to connect le nyanga, inyanga, which is the moon, right? Which is also a word for monthly transitions. And like I say that, not monthly transitions, the month itself, inyanga, a month, you know, and we know how the transition ya moon happens a monthly cycle, right? So like I say, as Africans, we don't just have words for vibes. We don't have words for vibes. We don't have, so everything there's a certain purpose to it. So those kind of healers, guys, would need to be divining by connecting nicely with the moon, you know, by consulting with the moon itself, you know, directly le moon. So because Djehuti is a lunar god as well, so they have that capability, but because they are the knowledge keeper, Djehuti, let's keep saying knowledge keeper, the energy of Djehuti, knowledge keeper, knowledge provider, you know, keeper of sacred books, the green emerald table that we spoke of, green emerald table of thought, that we spoke of, you know, memory, Djehuti keeps that memory as well. So Djehuti now comes and now enhances our ability, right? So so anything that has to do with divination, right now, the season of Djehuti, it's very it's very possible because of the energy Elling present at the moment, the prevalent energy that is present at this current moment. So Djehuti enhances now your mind power, enhances your capabilities without using the tools like the Tao La, the Oracle cards, those line system things, yeah, the line and whatnot. But Djehuti now assists you now in that elevation. And I think for those who've been transitioning with us, something should sound very familiar that we've covered with the deity before, right? Because remember, as above, so is below. So some deities are gonna you're gonna hear things that are repeating. I get it, little candilo that repeating. And then I said in the season as well, please take your affirmations very, very, very seriously, very seriously. Before we get into retrogrades and planets, did I forget anything else? Yeah, so we touched wisdom, Rafiki, that is the representation, yeah, the baboon, and Djehuti, the wisdom keeper, the wise one. And in the Lion King, Rafiki Akira was the wise one, was the medicine man, and all of that. We spoke that Djehuti is a great diviner, is a lunar god that happens on the third phase, the moon, transition, Rona. And then we spoke the color gray, right, representing wisdom, hence my color is gray. We spoke also the divine, not divine, sorry, the dope concept that we had. Did I finish my shout outs on Riba? Yeah, shout out Gogo Riba, shout out Gogi. Thank you so much for joining the membership program. That was a new member, brand new out the box. New shout out Gogi. Thank you so much for your support in that way. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there. But anyway, let's talk. Should we talk water first or should we talk retrogrades first? Do you say stuff first? Okay, so anyway, while we are on affirmations, please just do this little spell. Speak into your water. Because season in Djehuti. Speak into your water, your drinking water that you do, your bathing water that you do. Especially for those who have a couple of struggles, ne? Oh, Kesha, I remember Ngala. You still haven't made contact. Yeah, you're asking Uguti, do you partner with do you seek help from your direct line, your direct lineage, ne? Direct line of ancestors first, or do you delve or do you principaling first, ne? But yeah, if you still need help in navigation to that, please do holla. Please do holla. But remember I said knowing thyself is always at the peak of things, right? Things that you should do. Know yourself, know your clan, know Guti, okay, when I see this sign, when I see that sign, you know, I think a lot of people, I messed up the number. Oh, okay, Ketlas, I just got a WhatsApp. Was that from you? Okay. So the WhatsApp number is 062 062 234 2197. Yeah, but it's here. I think I'll put it in the description box again. I think I'll put it in the description box again. And then what did we touched on wisdom of Djehuti, we touched on the truth. Okay, the truth element, we'll touch on it. Because Consort is my ad. So I said that in this period, a lot of truths will be unveiled and we are seeing it. You know, sometimes it's going to be in a very messy manner. You didn't get it right. Okay, because I'll put the number in the description box now so I can just verify it. But I think it should be 062. Let me check. Afro-cosmic. Afro-cosmic. Yeah, 062 234 2197. Yes, I was correct. Greetings, Pretty. Greetings. Welcome, King. Welcome to the space. Yeah, we're just doing a live session on Djehuti. And I'm glad that people don't have questions. So if you don't have questions, it means you guys understand. Ne? But yeah, we're just covering just a couple of things from Djehuti because we did our intro episode on Djehuti last week, and on Tuesdays we do our spirituality. So I thought, yeah, let's just do the session live today. And we spoke of the animals, the wisdom, the unions, the color. I touched on the color. I touched on eucalyptus. We got lovely advices regarding eucalyptus. You know, we said that it's also besides being a relaxation tool, a relaxation element to use as well, it also helps with people who are in divination. It also helps with astral work that you can do. Gogo just said that, you know, it's after a long day and you just want to unpack energy. So it's a cleanser, it's a protector as well. And you can use the tree. That's the one thing I forgot. You can also use the tree, eucalyptus. It's usually found close to water areas. More commonly, we have blue gum, ne? Or blue gum. A more common one, ne? But you can smell it. It's still got that eucalyptus. But I like the one Elling. The leaves look a little bit blue. It's palish. It's like a pale green. I like those ones a bit better because, yeah, also put them like on window sills as well, just for that protection. And then yeah, so we spoke on a couple of things, and then I think now we're just gonna get into the catch up. But please remind me if I lost my train of thought. I said we're getting into a different point now. Ne? We covered Djehuti, we covered the lunar cycle, we covered why the 365 days versus the 360 days. We have do you know how to explain dreams? That's what I'd like to ask. Yeah, so you'll DM Kesha or your WhatsApp or ne? And then yeah, with some people though, if it's beyond my level of expertise, Kesha, I will refer you. We do have a plug for anything that you require in Togoza Gogo space. I'm just looking for somebody that works with Ispil, guys. You know, the diviners who use mirrors. Yeah, please, if you know somebody, please just hit us up. Yeah, we've been looking for that one for quite a while. You know, yeah, I think we have covered our episode at Djehuti. Please just remind me if I forgot something. Ne? But I want us maybe to we spoke on affirmation. Speak into your water, affirm your stuff this season, take advantage of that energy. We planted, we fertilized ideas that the last season. Now you know what, put them into gear. This is the third month now of the first quarter of the year. This is the third month of the first quarter of the year. So yeah, so Djehuti comes and puts these things in momentum, but now you're also gonna momentarize them, spoken word or written word. So also please keep a dream journal a lot. Very important for the season. Keep a dream journal or a little book just next to you. When you wake up, you can jot down, you know, unless you are those people who have adjusted to go to, you can type on your phone and not forget stuff, right? And we gave thanks as well. You'll see on the premium pack, we gave reverence and thanks to Osashat, which is the feminine aspect of Djehuti Warona. But in our scholars, they refer to Sashat as the goddess of measurements. Ne? Yeah, but it's just another aspect of Djehuti. So we gave a little bit of cannabis representation. Yeah, and I think, oh, is that why I'm wearing this kippah besides the gray color, the black and whiteness to it? Okay, lovely. Anyway, so guys, what's been happening? Let's catch up with what's been happening in real life, ne? Yeah, not that both Djehuti the real life. They're also very real life. We started with our resonance, people who are just in resonance with the season, no plan, nothing like that. Anyway, let's start with the drinking water. Let's start with the drinking water. Okay, so I mentioned the Lesotho Highlands project. Ne? So this is something I learned in the colonial primary schools. Ukuthi, where do we get our water from? Where do we get our water from? Babare, it's Lesotho. When life begins in water, is it the waters of new? Yeah, so we call it unun, ne? But I'm glad actually you knew. I'm glad that you mentioned it in this manner as well, right? We made a correlation. I think it was in the newt season. I'm not too sure. But unun, yes, noon is ukulukulwane. So new that you are referring to here would definitely be a dialect of that. But yes, the great waters of abyss, that is unun. The some Americans but can nan, but it's noon again. And then the reflection of that babariki newt, right, on a more but in on a macro scale. But if we go deeper into it, we get noon and nunet or now net, at different, depending on different scholars. So why I'm saying I'm glad you wrote it in this way. So in Setswana, there's a word very close to this one. There's a word very close to that one, which is also in it speaks of creation, right? I think it's spelled NYO, right? But it's used in derogatory terms. So I'm not gonna go into that one. But yeah, that relation, we did draw a parallel with that. For okay, why Batswana libisa so say, so say la, okay, that's one of people. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember when the crazy period, yeah, the lockdown started, ne? Remember Rona, the conspiracy theorists, like the conspiracy theories. We spoke of a blackout that was gonna take place and all of that, and Babari, no, you guys are a conspiracy theorist and all of that. And with the blackout that we're speaking about, I think besides the electricity issue that was happening, do you see also, ne? Yeah, let me not even curse it. There was the electricity issue that was mentioned. There's gonna be a day like nothing's gonna work. There's gonna be the water situation, water being poisoned, water being shut down, and all of that. And then I think I shared a little bit of my story where at my mother's home ne, at home, go home ne, go home. There's a point where if you open the tabs, like in the AMs, it would be just brown stuff that's coming out from the tabs, right? And then now I think a lot of hoods go Soweto. I'm not sure about other townships, you guys can share. A lot of hoods go Soweto. They have like water blockages, right? Which was something that we spoke about in year 2020. It's going to be a point more a life itloba jwalo. No, sorry, we need to pause on the water. We're speaking retrograde. Yeah, let's do the serious stuff first. Yeah, let's do the serious stuff first before anything else. Retrograde, yes, please, 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 please. Yeah, let's prepare for that one. So we did do an episode 2 years ago, I think, because I remember still at the plantain. We did do an episode 2 years ago. Please watch the ads in the middle. Yeah, please do watch the ads. Please watch the ads. Don't skip the ads. Thank you guys. um Retrograde, yeah. So come Monday, which was yesterday, the 25th, we entered into a retrograde, right? And with the episode that we did 2 years ago, I spoke of the things to not do within a retrograde. The things to not do, the things to do retrograde, right? So we know for a retrograde and the season that we're in now, we are now entering the we are in the season, yeah, Djehuti, which is a season of Gemini, which is governed by the Mercury planet. And Mercury is related to communication, right? So all planets do go into retrograde, right? They do go into retrograde, but I think I'm more familiar with the works of the Mercury because yeah, being a hectic victim for over the years. Yeah, Mercury retrograde, get say prepared. So you would see a lot of shift in communication and travel plans because remember Djehuti get the god that controls the resonance, that controls communication as well, right? We said function is communication. So I do know I have a couple of clients, right? I do have a couple of clients where we need to be fixing phones, right? So there's going to be a lot of phones that break. Equipment that is responsible for communication will definitely be affected. Relationships as well, they tend to be a little bit rocky during the retrograde because the communication barriers also take place retrograde, where you're not seeing eye to eye with your person. So don't make crazy decisions where you are ending relationships with your people and all of that. Just be cognizant. Every time you find yourself into hectic arguments, just also be cognizant for, okay, is this like silwele into khona or kanjani, is it the effects of the retrograde, right? So this period is lasting up until the 14th. We should get a relief nyana from the 14th. So Gogi says previous Mercury victim number 2. Yeah, I know. Yeah, tabola. Yo, tabola retrograde. So anyway, so also be cognizant of your travel plans. If you're doing something very, very seriously, especially those in the house of Asa, as well as the house of Anapola. Asale Osetne. So your Aries Libra. Ne, it is the Libra house. So those people just we want, yeah, don't give us we want, yeah, so those people also be very cognizant of your guys relationships as well. Now we're not going to go down every zodiac house. I'm just doing a general Mercury retrograde, so be cognizant of communication that you have there. If it's a relationship affected, just also look into that, travel plans, return of things from the past, because also the Mercury retrograde also comes and teaches us. It's also another great teacher. It also comes and teaches us of patterns, looking at our previous patterns, which, okay, have we elevated? Are we growing enough? Because that's what patterns and repeat stuff that happened in our lives need to do, So you'd see a lot of former lovers, pitching, or you are pitching to the former lover, there's that drawing of energy to that, and I'm smiling at Gogi's comment there because yeah, we did share the retrograde story. So yeah, former lovers, former habits, former things that you're dealing with, former things that you're not elevating from. So this is another time to be teaching. Remember, Djehuti is also a great teacher, tuto, like that guy who attacked us at it. Not Djehuti, it's tuto. But Djehuti is a great teacher, God of wisdom, God of word, spoken word, written word as well, Baby Cash maybe it's Mang. Yeah, whatever the rap name is, they're releasing their albums. They're releasing the albums now, artists, it's your time to shine now as well. I said together last season, put in your works, because everything that you're intending is possible by the energy of Heteru. And then now, season in, right, Djehuti comes. We've seen also the likes of other people, they're going ham. They're releasing their poetries now, they're back to writing on our social media. So we give thanks for the knowledge that you guys are sharing. So yeah, so retrograde also comes, and then every year, like I said, that in the past 5 years that I've been swimming in consciousness and swimming in the content as well, I have noticed or no period in a retrograde, So previously I'd been a relationship victim, So now sekele I know how to navigate the space of that. So Djehuti, don't take Mercury retrograde as something quite negative as well. It's coming also to teach you, okay, are you releasing patterns or are you repeating patterns? Because if you are, it's like how I say with like a religious or a religion fanatic people with if you're thinking the same for 20 years, man, I think you need to question yourself, as an adult, which brings me to a point that maybe we'll talk about a little bit. Ne? Yeah, Shem. I never mean harm, but yeah, with some things, yeah, we will probably harm people. Yeah, so Mercury, yeah, be steadfast. Yeah, maybe we'll do a special episode, but please, if you do have capacity, it's under our playlist. I think, yeah, stars, planets, and yeah, just go check it out. The things to not do, retrograde. It's also not advised to sign new contracts while we're retrograding hard, but the astrologists say we get a relief on the 5th of December. And with some people, yeah, so do what Spirit says all the time. I get, yeah, we don't know what you are polarized to. So if it feels good, but do not be surprised though if maybe a contract that you signed season in at Djehuti things fall apart or things don't become how they are. So be careful of contract work that you need to write for the season. Read the fine print proper. If you're starting something new as well, just be a little cognizant on that. I'm not saying don't start new things and all of that, ne? Just be cognizant for, okay, is it in flow with what it is, or with your path, what it is that you have decided on, ne? So a lot of um the PR people in PR as well look into that. Oh, and I wanted to mention another interesting thing, Uti. It's very interesting. Ronamo, South Africa, this is our exam time. So remember that better the period in Djehuti comes. Now you're able to learn new languages, but also it new languages, symbols, you learn new skills, those working in machinery, and tools and equipment. This is your time. You can call upon the energy of Djehuti to assist you in that. But the point I wanted to make is AID exam. So Djehuti also comes and tests you on that knowledge that you have received, right? And yeah, not kgodlala, just to use the energy at Djehuti, ne? But in respect, in a respectful manner. If you want to tap into other realms, this would be a perfect time to do that, because now Djehuti keeps a record, of all ancestral knowledge, keeps record of all ancient past knowledge, present knowledge, and like how they say, nothing is new under the sun. So yeah, so you can tap into that, work with the energy of Djehuti, but please just use things to be in resonance, ne? Cosmic resonance pack, that's what happens. Or get your ebook or collect the stuff that we spoke about. You don't have to specifically buy it from us. We just want everybody to be in frequency and in resonance. I get the energy that is prevalent, and Djehuti ki principle ya resonance, man. Yeah, principle ya Djehuti o hema ka resonance, And we spoke who created that link, that network of links between the physical as well as the psychic life in Ahona. So I think that's all I'm going to touch on the retrograde. So be careful of communication. Please get a screen protector. I also have them. Screen protector, protect your phone. But yeah, you might have to be repairing phones a lot. You might have just be cognizant of cross communication as well. So I don't know if it still happens, ne? Maar oro phonela aketse torothi abo ele ko pita kind of situation. Yeah, be careful in your relationships and communications with your significant others. Don't be careful of the returns. Be careful and be aware of your own patterns or something that looks familiar and has returned. It's just there to teach you a lesson. Some of us are unfortunate or fortunate enough, yeah, some lessons or some things we haven't elevated past them. But yeah, that's all I have for retrograde, yeah, Rhoda. So, but please do ask me if you want us maybe to go into the different planets and all of that. We'll have a special episode if you guys do want that. What else? Know thyself, it's levels. No, absolutely. Know thyself and to thyself be true. Yeah, so I think it's one of the sayings that I've carried most of my life, because I remember as a teenager I had it on my wall as well, but I didn't know where I got it from, what it meant to me and all of that. So when I got ink, it was one of the stuff that I inked, yeah, so that is retrograde Yarona, so which is the planet of communication, where it looks like it's traveling in an opposite direction, hence the missed flights that you're gonna get. Yeah, some are gonna be out of your control, so just breathe through it and give gratitude. When in doubt, whenever you're in doubt, breathe and give gratitude. Yeah, sometimes the universe likes testing us as well. You look gorgeous, Gogo. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Oh, thank you, Gogi. That's so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am in a good vibrational state these past couple of days. Even though there's a lot of work to do, but I give thanks, and I give thanks for you guys, all of you guys, and the ancestors and the guides and the spirits and the good words, and yeah, everything that you bring to the platform. I really give thanks. I'm really grateful. for everybody that's here, spiritual G's. We are family. Yeah, and then back to our catching up, ne? Yeah, I think we'll do it. Let's try do it in 10 minutes or less, ne? So our live session is not that long. Yeah, so speaking about when they said the blackout is going to happen, the whole food situation. So we've seen, like, I think when you start living consciously, you recognize like certain little things. Shout out Itu. I'm seeing she's commenting on a video somewhere. Shout out Itu Meleng, also one of our newest members on the membership program. So thank you guys. Kali appreciate that, guys. Yo, they really go a long way, Taking the pateleli school fees so much, but it's just to enhance our platform here. Ne? I give thanks. But yeah, we give thanks also for those who watch the ads as well. Everybody for your presence here. I really give thanks. I really give thanks. And for seeing the vision here. Anyway, what was that? Yeah, so the water situation that is happening. Oh, I was saying yes, let's live consciously. So the minute you start living consciously and you're seeing the stuff that are happening around you, So for me, it speaks Uguti, what? For me, it just says Uguti, what the heck? Our time is running out, guys. If we're not gonna get our ish in order, if we're not gonna get our house in order while we're watching everybody do their things, and we busy progressing in individualism and what, my family is fine or I'm fine, and we're never thinking of the collective, then we're gonna find ourselves in big trouble, as a people. Yeah, so they've already started with the whole water project. So do not be surprised in a couple of months where you're seeing a lot of businesses of buying water, refilling water. Already one of these big chains has a water refiller right here in the hood, right? So now I don't trust anything that's on these people, but let's go makala when a lot of people and when a lot of young fundribeks, so who push you at the water business, how and all of that, So if you guys don't get in as a people, we don't collectively get in and want to have our things, I think our biggest cry is we don't produce our own things, we are fed by other people, we are educated by other people, we are indoctrinated by other people. And speaking of indoctrination, I found myself in one of those conversations I do not like, the conversations I did religion. I don't like religious debates anymore. I think I've elevated to a different level, unless you come for me, and then yeah, we have something to talk about. But basically I shared a post where it says that along the lines of what Christianity has taught us, or let me just say Abrahamic religions, what they have taught us is to just be meek and accept like our positions of poverty, our positions of suffering, and I think what started as "Eish, Mara, Ndlovukazi, what are you guys being safe from, consistently being safe from?" Because if you understand or if you are in the space here or you looking historically, we do not have sin as black people. You hear it also in the languages etc. We have a term called abangone. With some academics, they want to link abanguni le abangone together, mara those that know better, but no, the Ngonis are not the Ngunis, but others say it's one and the same thing. But I just want to focus on that word here with you. Abangoni, those who do not sin. So we don't have sin in an African concept, but what religion came and did was impose these things, because Rona, as a people, we have our own moral code. Right? Remember I spoke about we self-judge. So this thing of us judging each other and all of that's the an-African part of things. We don't judge each other as a people. We self-govern, we self-correct and all of that. So these are the a lot of the tools. Black people don't sin. We don't have sin as Africans. It's not our concept. We don't sin when you've done something wrong because also we are communal people. When you've done something wrong in your community or your clan or wherever you guys would be placed on, it would literally be the communities or the collectives which, okay, what repercussions does this person get, or what remedial action, or how do you shambulula yourself? Give me the knowledge, please. Yeah, so how do you restore yourself, to be part of the community? I think I spoke about another term yesterday with a very special friend of mine, about the term ho hlokahala, right? And just explaining ukuthi because we communal people, like everybody only a certain role that they play, like let's say in a family or a clan or a tribe or a neighborhood, everybody only a certain role that they play. So when you pass away, meaning that there's nobody else who's playing that role ya gago wa hlokahala. You're needed for that role and you're no more. So such little things. So liboma sinning, we did not have sin, was a remedial action, yeah, the collective, because also we understood, we valued life. I know, like right now we have Boma Dinkabi, we have Marashia people who are analyzing people all over the show, and it's placed on us. But it's things that I want us to remember, Guti, all these things, how we are behaving animalistically so is what's it animals but in a lower state. We're operating in a lower state by design, and it's just sad for us because we're not even aware ukuthi we are victims of our own doing when we're acting like this, right? So I'm just saying, we're in trouble if we don't get our stuff in order, right? Like, and I really want us to start bit by bit. And speaking on that, we are having day 3. We will be hosting day 3 of Kwanzaa. We're gonna have Khosi Kgadi Lefens. I'm putting on the spot. We're gonna have Khosi Kgadi Lefens explaining that, because I know a lot of scholars in the not in the Hotep space, actually in the South African space, South African Hotep space, or in the woke space, they want us to divorce Kwanzaa as a principle from us, but I think it African disunity must stop. Absolutely, my king, absolutely needs to stop. I know there's a lot of academic people or scholars who say that, but this thing is American because Bona, they don't do the white Christmas that they do there. But not to discredit those thoughts and those feelings, not to discredit those. But when you're looking at the principles, the concepts that are Kwanzaa, I don't think we should be anti those. So we'll be hosting an event along with Kemet Forum, along with Lesedi Ancestral Institute, along with Ebkosi Solutions, along with, so there's a lot of people. We are practicing Black Unity in Aruna that we want to practice. So we're practicing that. We're gonna be hosting day 3 of Kwanzaa, which is gonna be on the 28th. It's okay, let's not finalize venues yet, but please save the dates. Like when you guys are going to weddings, I'm saying please save that date. Pull through, especially those who say they wanted to hang with spiritual people or have a spiritual tribe. Please just mark the date. Come with me. If you're shy, come to me. I'll introduce you to the gang. Ne? So please do pull through. So we're hosting the specific day that we're hosting ya Kwanzaa is Ujima, which is the concept of unity and working together. Hence, we are doing that. So yeah, please, there's gonna be markets, there's gonna be talks, there's gonna be education, it's gonna be knowledge dropping, it's gonna be drumming, it's gonna be dancing. It's gonna be dope. Even you guys in Jamaica, come through, pull through, pull through. But if you're in South Africa and I've always said that you want to attend our events, please do pull through. We'll be doing that. Yeah, so until we get our house in order, guys, we really, really, really are in trouble. And I know when I say this, they say, are we gonna go live for it? Yeah, actually I must ask, ne? Yeah, we should. I think with the bigness of this event, we should go live, my king, so that the people in the diaspora can also just catch what it is that we're doing, ne? Yeah, I will put that to the media leg of the organizing team. Okay, can we go live on the specific day, ne? Yeah. And then so that's Kwanzaa, that's us working in unison. Nikhuluma ngani besikhuluma ngoJehuti earlier on. Now we're just catching up to things. Yeah, let us go into a second thing of catching up, ne? Yeah, and then I spoke about you, Ms. Kambule. I spoke about you as well. But yeah, so we touched on the water, ne? If you do have the privilege, guys, yeah, maybe just refill your water for now. If you don't, I don't know what means people do. If we have healers in the house, besides the boiling method, because I remember with that's the thing, but really conspiracy theorists, when we're speaking about the blackout that's gonna happen globally. they said that there's gonna be a time where like even boiling your water is not gonna be sufficient for you, you know. So we can unplug maybe from yeah. So I don't know. Tell me what herbs we can use. I'll also ask in the healing space. What's okay? What can we use? What can we put to just take this poison out, you know, because we already know with tap water, we shouldn't be really drinking the tap water because of the fluoride in it. Fluoride, it blocker in conscious state, or now elevation state, the pineal gland, right? And not the physical third eye, but within the brain, if you are looking at the pineal gland in that way, right? But your conscious state, like we're getting zombified. That's why yeah, so I told you guys about, oh yes, we were under religious debate I was having. So this God, Uti, no religion or Christianity did this for them, you know, Jesus and their savior, oh hallelujah, save them and all of that. So that is why so that's why my statement of Christianity taught us to suffer in silence, you know, because our reward is in the afterlife, you know, whereas abanye abantu, they're busy doing devotion on the land, right? And your guys' land and holy land is where some fictional place, right? Yeah, so I found myself snapping, and then yeah, I just collected, because for me it's always uguti. As long as like Christianity just, or the Abrahamic religions, or these religious systems, they teach us to still be not in union, you know. When you feeling uguti, nah, I'm fine, I'm healthy, you don't know how to think of the collective, you know. Like these religions came and poisoned and put us in a state that we're in, you know. The constitution of this country is standing on the laws that are based on religious laws, a religion that has nothing to do with us, religious that's keeping us oppressed in this way, you know. For the unequalness that's still happening, you know, it's tools like religion that keep us in that state, the tools of unconsciousness that keep us there. So when you get people that are saying, Guti, Mina, my savior did this for me, so if all of you guys, you know, if all of you guys 40, you're gonna go to hell and burn, you know. So people also when you're in that state, so I don't want to get into that argument, le queen owner, because I was like, okay, yeah, I've elevated past like the debates as well, and I'm not recruiting anybody into anything, you know. It's either you get it or you don't. There's gonna be a point where as you know, it's either you are in it, your vibration, a vibrator with people, or it doesn't. I think somebody had asked about that, but I'm still not saying screw screw the religion, right? But if you're able to think for the collective, you know, if you're able to be curious enough, you know, question your own beliefs, you know. Even with us here, we need to question, like always question. That's how you reach a state of consciousness. That's how now you're able to operate from spirit, and not because Gogo said this, you know, Gogo me had said this or that. But that's why I always implore people, put these principles to test. Put the principles to test. Okay, what's real, what's not, you know. But with that, I'm still saying, what, you know, we still kind on our space. We're still kind for those who are still transitioning, or still learning, or still wanting to yes, Kesla, not only Christianity but Islam too, the Abrahamic religions. And I think every time I speak about when speaking of the Abrahamic religions and want to go on the Islam bandwagon, right? Ke tlo fenda le marasta hanyane as well, ne? Yeah, le ntshwarele. So sorry in advance. I'm not saying this in a malicious way. I'm just rakoka, right? Rakoka. So with these two religions specifically, when Kesla, you'd see we know that the prison system is also a system that's designed also to keep us in a pacified state, right? So if they can't if they can't analyze, so they attack us in different manners. And I referred to a movie by, yeah, it's a movie docu kind of situation. It's called 13th or 13, but based on the 13th Amendment in America. But but you know, like the systems that are designed for melanated people, wherever you are in the world, there's gonna be a clone of that system wherever you are in the world. And we know what, okay, with the prison system a lot, it's designed for what the heck, you know, bullets that are designed but designed with to make sure good, you know, this thing needs to hit a Negro kind of thing. But that's me being controversial. Yes, Christianity and Islam. So when you go into the prison system as a system itself, no, you would see how they. So it's either they. So now I'm off the rehabilitation system, right? So it's either they break you, right? So it's either they break you or they break you. Does that make sense? So it's either they break you to bend to their things or they break you, ne? So when they break you to bend to their systems, what we would see, I was born in the in the 80s towards the 90s, ne? And when I went to high school, so I don't know if it's a Pretoria thing or other high schools experience this, but we were given like these little blue Bibles in grade 8, ne? When we knew, which are the same Bibles that are given go in the incarceration system, right? And then when you're looking at incarceration in terms of the other Abrahamic religion, Islam, what I don't know what literature they give them, but I know this is another option, yeah, thing, you know. And with a conversation I had with this some guy, like I think Boma, probably what 8 years ago, right? We had this lovely conversation. So he gave me like the best kush in my whole life. I still haven't found a joint like I had that night. But we're speaking about Islam and incarceration and all of that. So with our country, ne, or let me say, it's Muslim people take themselves very seriously, and they are taken very seriously everywhere they go. Go like I go Dubai, even though it's a holiday destination, but there's certain areas where, even though you're allowed to get bikini, you don't necessarily have to wear the hijab and those bodysuits that cover you, but there's certain behavior you still need to recognize that it's an Islamic state. So Islam people are very serious with their things, and the world takes them very seriously, right? So this guy was saying that no, a lot of people convert to this religion like outside, when they're still outside before they're incarcerated. They convert to this religion, the Islamic religion, because now the diet is better in the system. Right, because you can say, okay, whatever halal food, there's certain processes. We know that Jewish people have the kosher food, but for the rest, you Africans, with me, I need pork because my religion doesn't allow, or my spirituality doesn't allow. So the diet is better there. There's better protection there in if you're associating yourself as Islam. So that's why you'd see a lot of Djehuti, right? Kidi, Kibo, what's the street word that they call? But they wear the Islamic things. So these are the two options, Kesha, and the incarceration systems that people would be faced with, right? So remember I said it's either they break you or they break you. So they break you and then bend you over here, and then you're thinking that, yeah, I didn't become part of a gang, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And then what do? You go, babang, they go and study again, babang, they go the religion route, right? And with people, you're so pacified, you're broken to a point where you're so pacified, where you feeling what, had it not been for this religion or this religion, ngabe I'm still this monster, because they broke you. Like baba make sure hore bona you will remember hore when you're a Negro. You will remember that you're a Negro. You're gonna bend to what we're saying, to a point where now you come out of the system, there's nothing to do. Which have allegation in, just go drive in the hood. On Saturday we're driving home. Tembisa, man. The state that, hey, man, us as God beings that we're living in is not all right. But then now I think I'm mad at what this system is creating. I'm mad at what the system is creating, because now we knew back in the day, okay, I wasn't there, but back in the day when Amagents, Babasapanda and whatnot, they would literally not harm. We wouldn't harm each other as a people. That's why Kerry, our moral compass is so off. Is so off as a people, because we respected that life is very sacred. We don't just take life and even like how we used to eat, like the rate of meat that we're eating. Maybe that's why we're also crazy. There's things like our diets that we need to look into. We're eating meat excessively. We're eating, and we don't know the meats are on the analyze, and with these other religions, I once read that there were no prisons in South Africa when they arrived. Not was a Kesha. So it links back, Kesha, to that question that you're asking about us as a people and sins. So it links back to that. We didn't have these crazy systems. We didn't have these crazy systems as a people, you know, because imagine as a human, when I imagine a being locked up. Imagine you don't have liberty of you know, you don't have liberty of just having that freedom. I think that's the one thing that maybe kept me on the straight and narrow in terms of law breaking and all of that, because that I hate being cooped up like that, you know. And that is how, like, leave the prison system itself, Keisha. There's people who gonna mind F people. There's people, like, that whole system is designed. The apartheid system, it designed to make sure, which, you know, we're keeping these mother effers or these father effers in a state of passiveness, for 5 generations, right? I think we are just on our third, going towards our fourth hour. So we are children's children. Maybe they will see Black unity in power and the liberation of us as a people. Maybe then. But they design those system in such a way that you're gonna break and then you're gonna feel good. Oh my gosh, this religion saved me. And then what? Howly so passive. Now you don't have time to be angry about the state yataki, you know. You don't have but in that vigor anymore. You don't associate yourself with people that are actually fighting for the system. Yes, I was speaking about a yes, the crime situation there. Back in the day, my gents knew, or if you have an uncle or an older brother who grew up in those times, they knew that we don't unalive each other, we don't steal from each other. What do we do? Rariposesa. So we are harming each other, you know. And now it creates only like these gender wars that we are seeing with, yeah, hey, black men, these, or men in totality. Oh, black men are such rapists, black men are such unalivers, or hello, darling. Your victim ya retrograde. Unalivers and all of that, you know. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it soon. I think it's 10 minutes, but I'm going on and on. But yeah, so the system is breeding such things, you know, because like I'm saying, Horarsana, that moral code that we had as a people, you know, Nerepanda outside, we go take elsewhere and here. So here it's just unfortunate, but these are the things that are bred by Yona, you know, Christianity, Islam, and what's that other one? We get Kita step out on the toes of the Rasta people as well. You know, we know there's another sect where they feel that they're the Black Jews and all of that. And I think there's a question in one of these talks that have Lima James, you know, there's a question that was asked, okay, if we're saying we're people Bantu and we're descendants, yeah, the pharaohs, you know, Sitata Nama Pharaoh, you know, the Pharaoh Nelly Disangoma, basically. So if you're saying that we're the Black Jews, like Nishoganjani, guys, you know, because if you're reading the story, Khatiking, the story, like this whole Israelites and whatnot, you know, you're seeing Hore no man, like actually Hari Rahana Handle, like you guys, you putting Wataki there at the bottom of the food chain again, you know. So these Abrahamic religions are very, very very dangerous. But I wanted us to talk about the minor situation, but I'll tie it in now. And I just wanted to get my two cents on that one. So we see with the whole illegal mining thing there, why Kere also we are basically eating each other, you know, because now I wouldn't have a jive. Honestly, I wouldn't have a jive if they were mining these things, but then now there's no crime element to it, right? But if it was working against the system, bona, by all means. But now these Marashi, or these miners, these people, darling, I'm home. Come. I'm home. Sorry. Yeah, I wanna Gogi, I'm home, ne? I'm home. I'm just recording. I'm finishing recording now, but I'm home. Okay, sure. Yeah, so if it was taking minerals, you know, because we know, I also rewatched Limarikana now recently, you know, when you watch it now with a grown-up eye, when you're watching it with a conscious eye again as well now, when you okay, I'm coming, Kesha. Yeah, but then now that there's the crime elements that happen right now, Saba Kripa people in the neighborhood. Now they're stealing from people in the neighborhood. So if they're just taking minerals from Lefati, you know, so that it's not managed by these people here, then we would say, yeah, no, sure, continue, abo. So I'm on the fence with the what we call the illegal miners, because the first illegal miners Kibomang, you know. And I wanted us to touch on also Lidi Paza. So maybe we'll have another catch-up situation, but I just want to say, yeah, like we consistently being beat at our own game, consistently. So, how many times have we given a chance to go back into the spaza shop situation? We didn't. Now se go creative le, not go creative, but we know that there's a criminal element to it. Se ba registerile, and because of our hunger, that's why I'm anti the things that keep us so pacified as a system. Because of our hunger, right? Nna ke le Mastene, if ke tlwaetse hore I'm getting that 6,000 rand every month, I'm also gonna go and register. So we have a lot of South Africans who are registering, because why? We also don't think communal. We don't think communal. We're always thinking me, but we don't care about those kids who got on alive because they ate poison. We don't care. We don't care anymore. So when you only mastane, and also perpetuating like this crap food that we're eating, these poisons that we're eating, but please tell your kids, "Kiko, go slow, guys. Go slow." Let us, I don't know what our plan is. I don't know. Do we also need a savior in that manner? Do we also need a savior? Like, we always need to be saved as black people. And when are we risking ourselves? When are we risking ourselves? If we swing kids away, guys, let's say today, but civil, what? Habar kids way. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for that? Or it's like, no, you know what, whatevs. I just want to read this last comment here, and then we're gonna close, because victims of retrogrades are here. We're gonna be fixing their phones soon. Magi, Cockamist, or Islam is a culture closer to Ingoma. Check the 5%ers. Thokoza Kehla. Thokoza Kehla. Yeah, so yeah, I think we can also take it to, I'm not speaking of the sects and all of that, right? So I think I haven't seen you here before. So we've said that we are the mother body of humanity. We are the mother body with the father body of humanity. So the things that you're seeing, right? We see the moon that they use, the star that they use. Those things is to Kesla, right? Is to, but tell me about Islam today. Also, Christianity today. Christianity, yeah, back then, right? I'm not too mad. I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too mad at it. But when you're checking Hore, the the beginning of things, right? There must have been a purity to it. But because I'm always saying that we are still in a rulership from the Mars planet, which is the violence and the imbalance and the patriarchy and all of the chaos that we're seeing now, is because we still now governing from the Mars planet, where now the divine feminine is missing, right? So that is why also like when they're speaking feminism, it comes in such a violent manner, and is creating these gender wars and all of that, where we're not understanding who, okay, barking, the concept of a woman itself, right, as a people. So Kehla, you are all right, ne? You are right. Sonke se right, actually. Sonke se right, all righty. But because of the effects that it has had on people, and you can see also there's the divisions. If you, I'm not too sure if you're Muslim by your religion or culture. You said culture there. I'm not sure if you're is Muslim in that regard. But Kesha, also just check if you are. Just also check the classism within your religious practice. Ne? Just also check where the black people are placed, right? Even in Roman Catholic, you can also see. Remember when Roman Catholic, for example, when the Pope was here, not here, when the Pope interacts with people of color, what happens? So Kesha, is Islam is also another tool that was used to keep us pacified. But I do hear what you're saying, just like the Shembe Church as well, in a little close relation to Islam. I know, but also Lorna, by virtue of it being presented in a manner where you still need to look outside of yourself for the savior and this God concept, and and keep you pacified, and keep the woman suppressed, like I think yeah, there's a lot with current cultures and religion that are still standing today. But yeah, I'm just saying that you're an inclusive, you're an all Abrahamic religions, ayikho ya mahala, as much as maybe you'll say it's okay, moral code and all of that. But why do you have why do you have people, what do you have religious fanatics in Islam, you know. I think I was in high school, ne? Yeah, high school, or towards late high school or early high school, when people are being beheaded because of Islam. So Kesh, I think just to wrap this session, until until things are not ruled from the Mars planet, we're still gonna be stuck in this thing, in the system. Gogo Mahlodi ore Botho is gone. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't do. You know, we literally where we are soulless. You know, we are operating in a soulless manner, where we forgot the main mission. Go to okay, kawata system. Okay, let's go penang. Mara kawata system. Muska kawata daki. You know. Mars, is that why this Elon Musk guy is obsessed with Mars? Yeah, what's talking? Elon Musk is also, yeah, is also another guy. But I'm not gonna give him airplay. But I'm for airplay. But never Pretoria Boys High. But yeah, Kesha, I think I speak about it a lot. But yeah, just get, you know, when you're ready, nah, please don't open spiritual books if you're not ready. Yeah, sometimes you're not ready, psychosis might happen. But when you're ready, just delve into the literature of what the Illuminati do, you know, or just look for 33 degrees of knowledge, you know. Yeah, so there's a lot. The people of us pay, you know. We're not, yeah, we're not self-governing, we're not free flowing, we're not, you know. But for the perpetuation of the system, Kehla, like, we need to literally dismantle all these isms that keep us divided. You know, the goal really needs to be to black unity. Screw everything else, black unity. We do everything in unison, you know. We saw how it works with the Black Panthers. We saw it worked with the Black Panthers. We saw that disunity came. Our political space. We saw that disunity came where the ruling party was the one where Naba spearhead the liberation of black people until Khotla selling out and all of that. So until the Mars planet and this energy of Mars planet is still there, there's still going to be people who are selling out. There's still going to be people who are Batini, like, we'll always think individual. It's violence, where we are basically imposing violence on ourselves, you know. And that's why Africa is not going to be liberated until we get our ish in order. How many, like, we're black billionaires? Do you think Uguti, by virtue of having access to that money, do you think like a lot of poverty would not have been solved? They have the means, but because of the people in rulership, those Babadi reptilian agenda, those people that are there, Daki's always gonna remain hungry. Daki's gonna be at the bottom of the food chain until we decide to rescue ourselves. So, Boma, fire, you know, when your Jesus Christ saved you and your family from cancer, and you know, it's an individual way of thinking. And if you are not thinking, oh, you know, my neighbor is hungry, or what do we do? You know, how can I pump this money here? You know, but bye, the billionaire. You think these politicians, because there's codes that they also sign, you know, when we're dealing in this sacred knowledge in ya makhoa. But Mako, singabonga kakhulu, guys. I think we're gonna end our session now. Thank you so much for joining us. Those who are joining us now, yeah, if you want the Djehuti stuff, it's there towards the beginning. But please stay safe in the retrograde. Please, yeah, be cognizant. You know, if you have significant others, please don't aggravate each other to a point where the relationship ends. Please also just check the flashbacks that are coming back into your life. Patterns, recognize your patterns. Also, that is another teachable moment as well for yourself. Elevation, stay in meditation, guys. You know, foremost high of high. And we are hoping that we will speak on cannabis in the season here. But also, don't forget, we have our Kwanzaa coming up. Save the date, 26th if you're attending the main event, Liam Kosini. 28th if you're attending it with the unity of all these movements. Gonna read the last comments and then we're gonna close. Magi Ore, thank you, guys. I appreciate the build and understanding. No, Makos, I'd really love to engage from you. Also teach us as well. Like, as it's a knowledge sharing session, especially if you're Muslim. Kesha, please do engage with us on that one. Yeah, but I would implore, always let's all interrogate, you know, our belief systems, our education. Always interrogate, you know. That's the only way you're able to elevate, you know. So don't be stuck, don't be those people who are thinking the same for 20 years. It's late for the old people, you know. But question to know the validity of your thing, you know. If there's different versions of what you consider as a truth, then you know it's yeah, it's problematic. Thy colorful shadow, I love reading your name. Lovely session, love and light. Thank you so much for pulling through. Melo again, I am staying here. Don't think I'm staying here. Oh, thank you so much, Ketla. Nyabonga so much. But Anken Maat, love and light, unity, prosperity, abundance. What else? The good goods, the good goods. Happy vibes to everybody. Sabonga Kulu. I'll see you guys. I think we have an episode on Friday. But we will, yeah, I think this was fun, eh? Yeah. So if you have any Djehuti questions, from color to tree to vibration or anything, dream space, recognize your dream space as well in the season, because Djehuti works a lot in the mind and the astral projections and all of that. Thank you, Gogi, for the knowledge sharing. Makosi. Thank you, Gogi. You heard me, ne? Me, I put you on the spot, ne? Yeah. So Gogi is gonna be our Setswana magi lena o tlo re ruta Setswana, but yeah, maybe ka berekisana le Kitumetse when she's back up as well, but also le the other Kitumetse from Botswana as well. Yeah, it would really be nice actually to have different types of Botswanas, even the Soweto Botswanas here. That'd be nice to experience. But thank you so much, Ank and Maat. Happy today, African peace, Black unity all the way, never division, ne? Yeah, and practicing, ne? When you take your pictures, this is peace. This is not peace. This is war. This is Mars planet things. Makosi Tovela.